Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Shogun 2. So we've managed to get quite far through enemy territory, but as you can see, this army has been quite depleted. It's down to 1/3 of its strength. Reinforcements is quite far away, and we have an army of 5,000 men ready to come down upon them. However, as you can see, they've got the bridge to cover them, so hopefully the fact that we're outnumbered 5 to 1 isn't going to be that bad. But as you can see, the enemy also is in a bad situation. If you look at the map up here, they've got one province left. There might be a few towns still in there, so they still have quite a bit of territory, although you can only see one region there on the map. But without further ado, let's go ahead and fight this battle, and then I will go on to explain the current situation and our plans of attack. But yes, without further ado, let's go ahead and fight this battle. And the river lays before us, so there's two places where you can cross this bridge over here, which I'm going to try to destroy, and then this river crossing right over here. And it seems they've split their army, so about half is going for the bridge, half is going for this river crossing. And you can see how depleted my units are. I've got one single unit, actually 2 units, 3 units with over 100 men, but most of them are less than that. Let's see if I cannot get my cannons to focus in and destroy that bridge. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that. I probably actually need the general over here rather than have him over here. These guys should be able to hold down on their own. Gonna charge in the cavalry. But what I really need is for my cannons to blast this bridge to shit. So just the number of enemies is gonna make this a very hard battle to try and win. Can I get the howitzers to start bombarding here? That would be nice. Tell me we're breaking down this bridge. I saw cannonball just hit. Come on. 0%. And my cavalry force sort of had to be moved in and kind of killed itself on the enemy there. The general is about to arrive just in time for the enemy melee charge to go in. It's going to be this is going to be a very close battle, and I imagine a lot of my units are unfortunately gonna be destroyed here.
Sir, I fear your general is in
Let's see,
mortal
how's it
peril,
going
sir.
over on this side? Still holding on. We might not actually need to blow the bridge. They're coming over one by one, and seemingly I'm able to cut them down as we go. However, we'll keep the cannons trained on this area, since well, we cannot fire down into this area compared to what the howitzers can. Units still holding on. This one though, 35 men. Probably need to pull that one back a bit. Same with this one. We're gonna get these two, pull them back a bit. Gonna try to pull back most units here. So there's a very thin red line now defending this crossing. Okay, the cavalry was defeated. The enemy, however, has suffered quite a lot trying to get across the bridge. I really need those howitzer shots to come in now and destroy the enemy. Gonna pull back the general since he's about to get utterly destroyed. We're gonna put him in the flank. Looks like the enemy is focusing their fire towards the center. If I can get a few good shots here in among all of this, deliver some spectacular amount of damage. You know what? We're gonna switch the cannons over to fire over here. I'm pretty sure they're able to fire at this point. The general cannot fire from this area, so I'm gonna move him over here, see if we can get a better angle at the enemy from over here. Surprisingly, we are able to hold off the enemy. 31, 31 and 41, still being able to hold the guys at the bridge. Let's see, it looks like they're charging, or they're trying to break out anyways. Make sure that we shoot those guys down. I want these cannons starting ripping through over here. Pull back a bit. You know what? It looks like we're gonna have victory, but it's gonna be a narrow victory. And most units here, we can see they're down to 18 men in most of these units. I imagine I lost about half my army, so we would be down to about 500 men at this point. But we have destroyed a force outnumbering us 5-1, which is pretty darn spectacular, I say. Gotta make sure that we kill as many of these as possible as well. So looking here, we only lost one unit, which I had to send in to save the army from being charged by cavalry and then the spearmen that attacked. But the army is still intact. We lost, however, just as I suspected, about half the army, so there's 400 or about, well, 500 men are left in this army, which means it's very vulnerable to attack. And so there we are, we can see he's barely holding on there at the bridge. The army is completely cut down to size, but given the fact that we've improved our replenishment rate so well, you can see some of these units were down to 18 men and are now up to 64, so we probably almost double the size. So we were able to replenish more or less everyone who died in that battle. However, I mean, there's no point, we cannot hold this position against any further attacks, so the army is forced to pull back. Also, they have lost, I think they've lost, let's see, I've got a, yes, the sniper unit is back. I've lost that in a previous battle. And they lost cavalry units. They're gonna need another one of those. And now it's up for these two armies to take his place. So this Helton is gonna take his place and probably move forwards, while we have Turbanville is going to move down to Bitshu Port. He's going to recover in this area. He's going to get those reinforcement units moving up. The rifle unit, the cavalry, and he might need some extra infantry. I'm not entirely sure. We got another infantry unit that's most likely supposed to move to him as well. Oh, we've actually got some stragglers here. I guess he can take care of the stragglers then, while the others shore up defense here. I've set up a fleet here to block the the strait here, so no one can pass through. I've blocked this area over. Oh, I had blocked it, but I moved these guys into fort to repair the fleet. Now we've got this area blocked as well, so they can't get through here. If they want to attack my main port, they have to go all the way around if they're coming from this side, or they're gonna have to come from up here, which they actually done and blasted my port. It's a lot harder to block on this side against my enemy force. So what I do is I keep a fleet close by, and then I'm trying my best to block the enemy up here. So we've got these two blocking, but obviously you can move around up here. So we just want one fleet there just to check out, see them coming through there. Recruit a spy. I wanted to see what they've got behind here, because right now we're actually at peace with these guys once more. I imagine they were just pissed because they were about to attack this area, but we attacked it before them. So I think that's what they were angry about. But the thing is, we cannot allow such a big force of enemies stay uncontested next to our border. And also I want to test out the new armies, Alcock Charles and his father, which now have the British Guards. We have Queen's Lancers, King's Own, and we also have the Engineers, Royal Scots, and British Hussars. So quite a few units there that we can test out. And I also probably want to actually move. I wonder if the fleet... No, the fleet is not going to be able to help out unless it gets into this port area. We're not going to attack them this turn. We're probably going to attack them next turn. Let's see. We've got a Scottish unit moving in. Yes, it's supposed to replenish this one. Lost one of their Scottish units. But otherwise, everything is kind of going well right now. So I'm really shoring up this side. We're ready to make a huge attack over here. And if we quickly just go ahead and take a look at the map. So this is the Sasayamas, which are the ones we're going to attack next. And that will bring us up to the border of Kyoto. Once Kyoto is taken and the area around here is secure, we will have to set up a mighty fleet to sail all the way over here and then attack and take Edo, so that I don't have to go through the entirety of Japan to win. Right now I'm researching post-capitalism, which will hopefully increase my coffers even more, although at this point I think the civil technologies are more or less done for. I'm not going to need any more of them because I'm already making tons of money. So after I'm done with that one, I will go ahead and start focusing on the martial or the military policies. And what I want is possibly some bigger ships, and I want some new cannons, and also it could be nice to have those extra cavalry units. Most importantly, I think cannons are, and the ships, because if I can get those mighty ships, I can conquer the waves just like Britain is supposed to. And we really need to hold be able to control the seas if we are to launch a navy all the way from over here and then through into this Edo Bay, which has two ports, which probably will bombard us as we come in. So that's going to be difficult. But with that said, let's go ahead and end turn, and then prepare for an attack here next turn, unless they move. Otherwise, we'll see about finding a battle against the Fukuyama. Right, so we're back after the end turn. The enemy has crossed with two armies, one smaller and one larger, and you know what, we're just gonna have to out-resolve this, and this went well, and the enemy was crushed. Helton is gonna move up, take position at the bridge, protect there, and what was this one called? Turbeville is gonna move down to take Bitchuport, while he stays. You know what? I think the replenishment is probably better in this region, because we've got army camps and whatnot. Oh no, it's not actually. It's worse here. It's better in this province, because we have General Staff Headquarters. That's proper built. Anyways, he moved closer, so the reinforcement units will be able to join him. And anyways, I tasked him with, of course, attacking this guy. So he'll be closer to doing that. And they're already at 100-man strength, so that's pretty darn good. A few nations were destroyed. Army detected. We've built some stuff. Mass production farms. National Railroad Company and good stuff. Units recruited. British Colonial Lancers. What I need to do is finally the Nabashimas have actually conquered this island, so now it's completely in their hand, and I no longer need this fleet to help them out bombard the enemy. So it's going to move back to my port, because I've seen the faction we're about to attack. I've seen that they're moving ships along this route, so they could be. It could be that they're moving in to attack something else. But since they're doing that at the same time I'm planning to attack them, they're gonna have to. They have bypassed basically my blockade and put ships in position to attack my main port. And that will obviously diminish part of my revenue. What I want to do is I want to strengthen my alliance with the Tokushimas, because they have taken control of the island compared with the ones that I had before, which were the these guys, the Yamauchi, which aren't dead yet, which I'm a bit unhappy with, the fact that they haven't died, because that means that I cannot go ahead. I don't want to break the alliance, because then you'll get dishonor and stuff. So I really want them to just die, so I can ally with the Tokushimas instead. And these guys, the temperament is defensive, so most likely they're not going to move off their island, which will be nice. And before I forget, the family council, we have the possibility of giving someone the field marshal rank. Now everyone else has rank, but I think that we're gonna give this to maybe not this guy, because he's got the lowest amount of stars. So I'm thinking we're gonna give it to Helton. Helton should be the field marshal, since he has the highest amount of rank. He's currently just a major general, so we're gonna make him the field marshal. And then this guy is gonna be the brigadier general. And then of these two, this guy is more loyal, so he can stay, as he's currently the lieutenant general. And then Hook George will be the major general. So that will be nice. They do different kinds of things, but we're not going to take a look at that right now. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and attack up here. First I'm going to just go ahead and scout a bit. There is a huge army there. There's no army here. And I'm not going to be able to scout all the way to Hokey Port. Hokey Pokey Port. Sandwich maneuver. Once these guys are done, they could head up towards Bitchu town and then sandwich with the rest of them. But what we're looking at now is the battle right here. So we've got 4 full stacks of enemies versus 3 full stacks of our men. And it's Allcock John that's going to lead the charge. And yeah, without further ado, let's declare war on the Sasayamas. Let's see here, where do we have the Sasayamas? There. They're not too happy. Who are they allied with? They're allied with the Wakayama, Demimabu, and the guys that we are currently at war with, so definitely.
I will listen
Let's see.
attentively, and
Owing
then
to
give
recent
you a
treaties,
fair
declaring war
response.
now will lower
Now
your
speak
diplomatic
your
standing
part.
among other factions. Turn remaining 3. Ah! I'll have to hold off on that then. Hopefully the army stays in place, and we don't have to worry about it that much. Gonna go ahead and scout a bit with this guy, so I guess I'll see you guys in 3 turns. Hopefully we will have subdued most of the Fukuyamas, and yeah, I'll see you guys then. The time has come! We are now in a position to attack the enemy. The treaty has been dead long enough. Our ceasefire treaty with them has been dead long enough. So it's time to attack. But, given the time I've already spent on this episode, I'd rather have this battle get as much time as possible so I don't run over my 30-minute mark, which I've set as sort of at least a guideline from the maximum. Also, I've been playing this for quite a while today, so it's probably better if I postpone that to tomorrow. So I'll take a fresh take on this and go ahead and attack and destroy these. I will, however, say that quick count here says there's about 15,000 enemies compared to my around. Well, each army of these contains about 3,000 men, so that would make it almost 9,000, but it's probably closer to 8,000. So you have an idea of what's to come. Hopefully that will be quite the amazing battle with a high amount of casualties. However, we're not just gonna end this episode just yet. Instead, what I'm going to do is we're gonna take Tuberville and we're gonna smite this army, which is, at least according to the strength of the both forces, is about 50-50. So we have a good chance here to win. And yeah, without further ado, let's have this battle. And here we are on the field of battle, as I always say. We have our battery right here, we have the cavalry on this side, and then the forces lined up here. Line infantry in front, colonial line infantry in the back, and Highlanders also in the back. I'm gonna send these guys out towards the flanks, and we got a general right there. So hopefully I'll be able to climb the hill before the enemy arrives. The cavalry is gonna swing out into the forest and prepare to attack. There's probably gonna be a fight in the forest actually, given the proximity to the enemy. My artillery is starting to completely blast apart the enemy cannon, which is very nice. Oh, drop engines. That was not what I was supposed to tell them to do. Back on the guns. I thought it was the there's another, what's it called, when they not the barrage ability, but okay, the enemy is closing in really fast here. So the line infantry needs to hurry up, and the Scots need to hurry up if we are supposed to be close to ready once the enemy actually comes to attack us. And then the general will be right there. Right, we need to start conducting some battle maneuvers. There's recruits in the forest, and for once the enemy actually opens fire on us before we open fire on them, delivering quite nasty casualties to my units there. I'm gonna start off our offensive maneuvers with lancer charges. If it weren't for the fact that the enemy disappears in the forest before our very eyes. Seeing as though a lot of the enemy is focusing around here, I'm gonna move the general down to support down there. Come on. Charge in. This unit is almost about to break. given, well, I'll tell the artillery to refocus their effort towards where we have quite a bit of trouble, and then we need to see about throwing these guys into the flank of the enemy. So right now these three are not firing at all. Well, now they started to fire, but same time the center is not doing well. How's my cavalry doing? They mopped up part of the enemy force. My Highlanders are not doing well here, suffering massive amounts of casualties, but you can always trust the Highlanders to hold the line. Even though they've lost about half their men, they're still holding the line. The center has unfortunately broken apart.
Your general is under attack.
And with the fact that now the samurai are able to push through my center, it's causing quite the upset in among the Highlanders. So we'll actually retreat, and I'll send the general to make sure that they hold it down there. And then basically what has happened, very unfortunate for us, is that our army has been split in two by the enemy's maneuvers, which is not very nice. Not very nice at all. So what I have is a handful of Highlanders and my general. We do have the cannon though, so we've got that going for us down here. And given the amount of revolvers he has in his bodyguard, they should make short work of the enemy general's unit. However, this Highlander unit is probably not going to fare too well. Come on. Smash those guys already. At the same time, up on the hill, we're actually faring pretty well currently. I'm gonna form the line infantry back here. Prepare for a counter charge, just because, not that it's going to be particularly useful for us, but it's going to look nice. So we got concentration of the enemy right over there, and I've got 2 units of the line infantry more or less unscathed, ready to charge in battalion formation straight into this mess and break them. So before they're able to inflict too much damage on us, these units, we actually almost shot our own men there. Cannons will hold fire.
Victory is assured, sir.
And there we have it. The charge pushed through the enemy and absolutely destroyed them. And now they're all running away. I'll tell the men to hold and then gun the enemy down as they run back down the hill. So a bit disappointing that I didn't have really the time to conduct the last battle, but then we have something to look forward to in the next video, fighting off 15,000 men in one battle, which will be very nice. But without further ado, I think we'll go ahead and end it right here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!